What is going on, everyone? It is Wednesday, 5 o'clock Eastern Time, which means it's time for Dave and I to stop working, ignore our families, and just hang out with you.
I'm cracking up laughing. I'm looking at a comment already here from Jennifer Welch. Because as soon as the intro went out saying it's time for a brain break, she responded, "My brain's already broke." So I'm like, yeah, okay, me too. So it kind of fits.
Joe comes in with not Facebook user. Joe, you showed up the right way, so like that's good.
You learned how to play by the rules.
So
good job, Joe.
Who had that first comment?
Jennifer Welch on Twitter.
So she was so fast that it's not even showing up on my back end. Yep. Oh, that's awesome, Jennifer. Thanks for jumping in. So for those of you who are watching that maybe don't know, my name is Chef Gargas. That's Dave Schmittou. We're your host for the next 58 minutes-ish of nonsense. Andrea, good to see you. If you are watching, wherever you're watching, because we, say hello, let us know where you're at, because we are on Facebook. We're in our Facebook group and on our Facebook page. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitter via Periscope, and we're on Twitch. And I see that quite a few people are watching, but I'm not seeing many likes or hearts or retweets or hellos, and that's not okay, Dave. It's not okay.
It breaks my heart that there's no hearts. Yeah.
So because this all started, these brain breaks started with us just having some drinks together. What are you drinking today?
Well,
what do you got?
It is an Ohio beer from our buddies at Rivalry Brew. This is the Bloodhound Orange IPA.
Oh yeah, that's good. I enjoyed that.
Yes.
Yes. So here you're gonna love this because here's what I got.
Oh, look at you!
Some Atwater brews from Grand Rapids.
States. Yes.
So
that's
Dave
awesome.
Brought those down and traded off. Big shout out to our friends Rivalry Brews, who ship all over the country now. So you can go there and pick up a whole bunch of craft beer from Ohio and ship it. And they wanted to hook us up because they love teachers and thought, hey, if they can do that. So we have some good stuff. So you were drinking. Where's that? Does that have where it's at in Ohio? A lot of them do.
I can figure it out.
What's the company?
Thirsty Dog from Akron.
Thirsty Dog, Akron, yeah, you're right in Akron, right by me. So awesome, good stuff.
Yeah.
And good to see you. Thanks for chiming in. So Dave, how's your day going? What's going on with you?
So let me tell you about my day. So
tell me about your day.
It's kind of a fun day, an interesting day, a crazy day, but a day. So I started off, got to go for my nice little run. The weather is absolutely perfect for being outside right now. I went for a run this morning. Then I got to log on and go live with the one, the only Chad Ostrowski, hang out with him. And
that's when you should have run right there.
Oh, right. Well, we talked mastermind. We talked data, or as they say in Australia, data. Those people that were part of it last night will understand. We talked leadership, the whole 9 yards. Then we did the whole school thing here with 4 kids. And this is where it gets amazing. Then today, for the first time ever, I'm 42 years old. First time I ever went and shot a pistol. Why did I shoot a pistol, you ask? Just because I needed to shoot a gun.
Where did you shoot a gun? Was it your gun or someone else's?
No, I don't have a gun. My wife and I went to a range, and we just said, let's just shoot the crap out of some stuff today. So we just went and blasted holes in a target a few times, shot like 100 and blasted a few holes.
What'd you shoot? What was the caliber?
9mm.
Okay.
3 different types of guns.
Yep. Nice.
I was like, oh, this is scary and exhilarating at the same time. And then took the kids to the park a little bit because they needed to go blow off some steam and wasn't going to put a gun in their hands.
I was going to say, hang out with you, man. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
That's the day.
How did your wife enjoy it? Like as much as she had never shot before?
It was her idea. It was her idea.
But she had never shot before?
No. I think what she said was we need to get out of the house and put a target in front of us. Otherwise, one of us is going to kill the other one. So let's just go pretend. So
I love it.
Kudos to her for saving our lives. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I remember the very first time I ever went. So my brother-in-law's at the time was a police officer. He's now the sergeant at. So our Akron Children's Hospital has a police department. It's actually like a legit, like full-fledged police department. But they're dedicated to the hospital. So he's a sergeant there. But the first time we ever went was he's done with his training. I think he just got hired onto his first police force. And I had wanted to go shoot for a long time, but I never, my parents didn't own guns, whatever. I've never been against it. Just always been, I don't even know if I want to say fearful, scared, just very cautious of them. So I just never felt I needed it. But I wanted to go learn how to shoot just so I knew. And so I'd been studying I'm talking like 3 or 4 months of watching YouTube videos on how to clean, how to load. I mean, all these things, and it was hilarious because we go there with my brother-in-law. And he's all like pumped because he's excited to like teach me, like as a bonding moment for us as dudes, and like he was excited like when we lay it down, and I like pop it, I'm checking it, and I'm cleaning it, and put it all together, and I'm ready to go. And he's like, "Oh, so you've like done this before?" I'm like, "No, I just watched a whole lot of YouTube, dude." And I literally went, just watched a whole lot of YouTube. Boom! It just started firing. He's like,
awesome.
"This is great." So we had a blast, but yeah, and I've won a few times since, but like, don't own a gun or anything like that. But yeah, it's exhilarating because I think you understand. You feel like
there's
you understand
lot of power right there.
You understand the power that you have in your hand right there. And so I'm much more comfortable like with a Fortnite gun in my hand. Like, let's just
I'm much more comfortable with an Expo dry race marker in my hand. Like that's like where my power ends normally. So
it ends. So Joe needs to get to the range. Megan and her boyfriend want to take me shooting, but so Megan's boyfriend's cop too. So, well, if you're terrified, don't do it. Like, I mean,
I don't know. I was slightly terrified. Like, I had the feeling walking into the range today, like I do if I go to an amusement park and I see a huge roller coaster. I'm like, okay, I know it's safe, it's good, but I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, I think I take that back. I think you should do that. I think it's one of those things that you think about, and this is weird. My mind goes this way sometimes. I'm like, well, like. In the case of like, post-apocalyptic or something, like the zombies come, like I should know how to handle that.
Right.
Like, so if I can figure out where I go to get it, I need to know how to handle that just in case. So, you got it, Andrew. You'll be okay. Yeah, she's probably, I can't even imagine what Megan.
There's no part of this that shocks me.
Not even a little bit. So, all right. So how the kids doing with school? Because you got 4 at home.
Yeah.
Remind me again the grade levels. I've
got kindergarten. Yeah, kindergarten, 2nd grade, 4th grade, 9th grade. Awesome. And the way it's done here is it's synchronous from 9 a.m. to 2:30 with a half-hour lunch break, and the lunch breaks are kind of staggered. And in that synchronous time, there's lots of transitions because the teachers are transitioning from a story to math, and they tell the kids to take a 5-minute break, but those 5-minute breaks are at different times. They have to log off and log back in, and I mean, it's just.
They log off and
they got to log back off. So they might be in a Google Meet, and then they have to log out of that and go into a Seesaw for the next activity. And then like they're just constantly bouncing and switching. And the teachers, again, I'm going to say, if I had one kid and I could just focus on that one kid, I would be in awe of any of the 4 kids that I have because the teachers are doing a magnificent job. It's the logistics that we have to deal with in our house because we have 4 kids at 4 different grade levels. That's difficult, and it's a little bit like the Tasmanian devil for a few hours every morning, and then once 2:30 hits, man, it is just party on. So, like I said, 2:30 today, we were shooting guns, jumping on trampolines. It's like do what you got to do.
Jeez, that is craziness. Wow, yeah. So we have. My daughter's in 1st, my son's in 3rd here. We're full virtual, but it's not synchronous. They have certain points. So Wednesday's sort of like a makeup day. They do have which I told you earlier. They have a like end of the day meetup, which I forgot for both of them because that's where I was at today. But most of the other days, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Jacqueline's got morning meetings from like. They do like 9 to 10:15. They do like a morning meeting, then a break, then a read aloud. Jonathan has morning meetings on certain days, but then he always has every other day. He's got end of the day, and then they have small groups. So like there's multiple times where they're on with either the whole class or small group. But outside of that, they kind of move at their own pace. So I finally got them the last 2 days. They finally sort of gotten it. They're like, oh, I should listen and just get it all done now. So then I can just do whatever because Dad's got to work. Because I'm like at this point, I'm like, look, get your work done. I'll check it. We'll make sure it's good. And then if you let me work, you can do whatever you want.
Have fun, man.
Like, I get some drinks set up for him. So he needs like some milk or drink or whatever. And I'm like, Jonathan knows now he can get them, snacks. So they ask and they get them. Like, that's good. Like, you guys can get a lot of screen time having some fun.
Yeah.
If you let Daddy work. Oddly enough, they actually don't. They do a lot of. They have a lot of fun without having to be on screens most days too. So, but they're doing well. It's going.
And how are you doing, man? Because you mentioned all the work, and right now there's a lot of work that needs to get done. Plus managing those logistics. Are you taking care of yourself, or are you just?
Yeah, I think So we're fortunate that both Amy's parents and my parents are retired and close enough that they can help. So typically on Mondays and Tuesdays during the day, they're with one of the grandmas. My mom and dad are out of town right now, so yesterday they weren't. So I had them, which isn't a big deal, but it was different because like the last 2 weeks I've had that day as a work day. But yesterday I had to I had them here, and it was going all right, but it was like, I don't know, like 12:30. I kind of, my daughter just sometimes needs a little more. She's still learning to read and math, stuff like that. So she needs more, and she was needing a lot. She also deals with a lot of anxiety, and that was hitting her a lot. So like I eventually about 12:30, I'm just like, I guess I'm just not going to work until Amy gets home, but then I don't want to work when she gets home because we're going to do dinner. I want to see her, I want to spend some time. So I end up waiting until the kids go to bed. So then I'm working at, 9:30, whatever. And I did take care of myself in a way. It's kind of yes and no. So last night I came down to work, but at first I took 45 minutes. And I worked out first instead.
Good for you, man.
But then I worked, but that just made me work 45 minutes later than I would have, and was more awake. So I still worked late, and that wasn't good. But I allowed myself to sleep in this morning because they didn't have to get on morning meetings, and I didn't have anything bright and early. So I slept in till 7, which was nice. Because that's when Jacqueline comes in and is like, Dad. Dad. I'm like, what? She's like, can I go out there and watch TV? I'm like, it's always the yes. Just go. But they're awesome. She did really good today. So we had a yet moment today.
Ooh.
Where she got yet because she got really upset with herself. She's struggling with reading. And I think I figured out that she's struggling with reading because she has an incredible memory for remembering lines and repeating stuff. So there's a couple books that she can read word for word the entire book as if she's reading, but she could do it without looking. And she remembers a lot of things, like she does the memory game. She's awesome. Like she destroys you at it and stuff, just things like that. And I think that hurts her because I think once she sees it once or twice, she's going for a lot from memory, but then you'll catch her because she catches some words that she changes because she's just remembering how it was said. So anyway, we were working, and she got upset because she was supposed to read a book and share something. And she's like, I don't know what to read. I'm like, well, what's this? And then she just said, she's like, I can't read. And she just lost it, broke down. It took me a while to get her to calm down. And then I'm like, she said, but I can't read. I'm like, you can't read yet. And she's like, she looked at me, I'm like, and it took me a little bit so she understood what yet meant. And then we're reading later, and we were going through reading, and she's struggling on a word. I said, that's all right. That's a tough word. I'm like, she's like, yeah, I just don't know it yet, Dad. And I'm like,
oh, yeah.
So she did great. She did a great job. It was like a really cool, learning moment, stuff like that. So it was good stuff. Look at Bree, like, hey, let's.
Bree's amazing.
I'm just gonna start chiming Bree in to read with my kids. I might take you up that. That might be a good time. So it's fun. Things are going well. So how's life now that you're about a month in now of being on the team officially and stuff? I don't know why that's in quotes. I apologize.
Because apparently I'm not.
You're not real. I don't know.
Hey, thanks, my friend. Wow. Air quotes. I
appreciate you.
You're the best.
I'm like Joey Tribbiani. I don't know how to use them. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't know. So
ouch. Well, I was gonna say great. However, no, the team stuff. Honestly, the stuff on the team is that happy place. It's that sweet spot right now that I go to when I just need a nice little retreat and a pick me up. Like hanging Tuesdays and Wednesdays they're like my weekend. So Tuesdays I get to do the mastermind twice a day. Mm-hmm. Wednesdays I get to go live. I get to hang out with Chad and you. And I'm like, oh, that's what it's all about for me. And then today I got a nice little happy mail from Lindsay Titus and then Megan and Andrea. And I was just like, this is what it's all about. It's the other 5 days of the week where I'm just like, if I had any hair, I'd be pulling it out because I can't juggle it all right now. I'm super stressed. But Tuesdays and Wednesdays right now are they're where all the magic happens. So
so the admin meeting was awesome last night. Bree's
oh my gosh.
I was able to go to both masterminds yesterday, and the morning was fantastic. Last night we had the majority of people there last night were first timers, which was awesome. See a bunch of new faces that we haven't heard. We had someone, our teacher friend, I remember her name from Australia.
Donna?
Debbie? Donna.
Yep.
Donna, and just a really powerful conversation, stuff like that. So I am going to, and that's Becky. Hi, Becky. Good to see you. I'm going to brighten up your Wednesday just a little bit more right now.
Uh-oh.
This was not planned. We just worked it out in the back end on Twitter, but I felt like I had to bring this guy on.
What is up?
Because
yes.
What's up, Adam? Oh,
he's muted.
We can't hear you. What's going on? Oh, you're muted. Hold on. There he is. You're still muted.
No.
Oh, something with your click on Cam and Mike and see if you can change fix your mic settings there. We're gonna get him in. I really want to get him in because he said he got shot in the eye. I don't know if you caught that.
By a starter pistol or something.
Yeah, and so I immediately went to Twitter and I messaged him. I said, "You need to come on and share that story. Grab a drink and come join us."
And now he's not on the golf course, so he can.
Now he's got to figure. Hey, Joe. Speaking of tech support, if you could connect with Adam, see if you can help him out there. So we're gonna try and get Adam in with us so we can share that story. We'll see.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
You think it's set up now, Adam? Or you? No. You give me just do this when you're ready. I'll look for him because I can see him down there. What's up, Megan? Good to see you.
Megan was there last night too.
Megan was there last night. She got
too ships
passing like 2 minutes later. Yeah.
Well, I had to send her a text. She said, "Let me know when Jeff's out of here." So I sent her a message, and she's like, "All right, I'll join now."
Understandable, Megan. I get it. Yeah. Totally get it.
I think she only showed up because Gupta was going to follow up on her, so she knew she had to.
He did say he was going to do that. I got to go live last night, yesterday with Gupta.
Yeah,
that was a good time. So. Look at Megan razzing you.
Jesus. Well, hold on. I do owe her some love right now because I told her if Ohio State could get the Big Ten to play football, they might just convert me. And the announcement came out today.
I saw that.
The Big Ten is starting football October 23rd. So, Megan, I might just say I might be rooting for the Scarlet and Gray a little bit this year, except for one big game a year. We'll see.
This is my excited face. I figured out that I didn't miss sports, which is weird. I thought I would, but the Browns played, which I was like, oh, that's cool. I'll watch the Browns. But I was like,
well, see, that's the problem. I mean, if you lived or rooted for any other team, maybe you would have missed it. But that's all you got, right?
Yeah, but but I'm a Browns fan, which means right now in the season we get really excited.
Well, no. If it was a preseason, you would have been excited, but no preseason means your hopes were within 2 minutes of the game. You're like, all right, let me go fire the girl.
Yeah, that's a pretty good. So it was funny because I think it was Gupta actually. I posted something oh, well, the Browns still suck. And Gupta's like, have faith, and I'm like, I didn't read that until after the game. I'm like, a faith for what? Because holy cow,
yeah. So the good news for you now, your
Baker Mayfield was just horrible.
Well, yeah, well,
it was horrible.
Some would say we could have saw that when it was coming, but the advantage you have now is your Sundays are wide open. For me, this past Sunday, being a Lions fan, up until there were 15 seconds left on the clock, I still had hope for the season.
Why are my Sundays wide open?
Because you don't have to watch anything now. Your season's done. You realize already. You're like, what's the point? For me, I'm clinging to hope maybe they'll do something. The Lions were up by 16 points going into the fourth quarter and lost the game.
Did they really?
They did, yeah. And it's same old Lions. They say SOL up here. Same old Lions.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know the Lions were still playing football. I thought
no kidding. I wish. Or something. Oh, it's definitely a love-hate.
Don't get me started on the Giants, Becky. Exactly. My wife's aunt is a Giants fan, so their household's fun because uncle is huge Browns fan, wife is huge Giants fan, son gets caught in the middle. But so we razz her. So that's one of the, we got to win. I need the Browns to either win or do something at least somewhat okay against the Steelers so I can razz Chad. I don't even care if they win. He'll be like, what's up, Steelers won? I'm like, yeah, but the Browns tackled 3 guys. What's up,
right?
You guys couldn't get away from them? Come on now. And that's usually enough. And then we got to beat the Giants because I got to be able to send Aunt Gail a little razz. So anyway,
that's awesome.
or like we really for the Browns, like our real goal most of the time is just like, can we at least like just ruin the Steelers like playoff chances? Like if we could do that, we're good. But instead we play the Ravens and just get annihilated.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bills Mafia is here. Oh, Nikki understands. Well, so do you. I mean, a Lions fan, Bills fan, Browns fan. We're on the same.
I feel like a lot of us up here in the Rust Belt, we feel that pain, man.
We shouldn't be playing.
And it's ridiculous. It's this time of the year when we need hope. We see winter coming. We know what's around the corner. Why can't our football teams just deliver something for us? Oh,
that's why you gotta you just gotta watch hockey, because at least hockey we have good teams around.
We get in the 90s. No, the Red Wings, come on. Red Wings.
That's a good. I mean, but here the Wings are a team that like any year though, like they could just burst out. Like they're not like a Browns where it's like if the Browns win the first 5 games, you're like
Browns fan.
Well, hold on. If the Browns win the first 5 games, you're like, yeah, but they're gonna lose the rest. If the Red Wings come out hot early, you're like, okay, they might have a good year, and they actually have a prayer of having a good year. The Browns, we all know it's never going to happen.
Yeah,
because like Baker could catch fire for the next like 5 or 6 games. They could go 5-0 for the next 5, but then what's going to happen is like they're going to come on and be like, hey, the Browns have we've benched Baker and we brought Johnny Manziel back, and he's going to take care of this. And like
what we have to do, let's get Baker on here to shotgun a beer with us. We know he's good at that, right?
Yeah.
We've seen that.
Yeah.
Get him on here and see what happens. Maybe that's the secret sauce.
What would that do?
I don't know.
Other than maybe hurt our ratings a little bit?
Right? I don't know. It'd give me a laugh, give me a chuckle. Let me see Baker do something quality. I don't know.
He'd probably be a good time to hang out with.
Yeah.
So did I correct me? I'm going to completely change the subject. Did I see something? Are you running another workshop soon or a webinar or something soon? Did I see something like that, or am I completely imagining stuff?
You're imagining stuff.
Okay, I'm imagining stuff. Great.
If I am, I've got I know what you're talking about.
What is
got
that?
A couple conferences coming up. So
conferences coming up. Okay.
Yeah. So got one. I think it's next week. Innovative Schools Summit. They do a bunch of these big summits or conferences all over the country: San Antonio, Atlanta, Vegas, and they switched everything to virtual. So I'm doing a virtual one next week for that, and then the AMLE National Conference is all virtual. So I'm doing that a couple weeks later. So I'm guessing that's probably what you saw. It's just the postings about those.
I was really thinking that might be something cooler.
Yeah, it's. Sorry.
All right, do we have audio?
Is it better?
Hey, we got audio. All right. What's up, buddy? How are you, man?
I'm good. Good.
How's your year going? Where are you at in your year, and how are things?
This is our first full week. So
okay.
We had 2 weeks ago. We had like half the class come in, and then worked with our remote students for a couple days. And then last week we were going to start up Tuesday, but then we had our massive rain for a couple on Labor Day. It flooded the basement of our school, so we had to push back a day. That was a fun way to start the year. But then we started last week for 3 days, and we have started full week this week. So we're doing in-person and remote at the same time.
And how's that going for you?
I have 3 students remote, so it's easy for me. But we have students that are like sometimes have 10 to 12 kids all remote.
A lot more.
It's brutal. It's brutal.
Is it basically you have a camera set up watching what you do? And
yeah, we have a full camera system, the camera, microphone, speaker, all at the same time, and we're using Google Meet. We're supposed to be using something else that's not functioning well together yet, so we're just using Google Meet.
Gotcha.
Making it work.
Gotcha. So Adam, for anybody who's watching and connected here that maybe doesn't connect with you yet, doesn't know who you are, can you do a quick introduction, where you're at, what your role in education is, and anything like that?
I'm a 4-5 social studies, English reading teacher in Cleveland Heights, Ohio. It's Community Saints Catholic School. So where I'd like to keep my little education world is Catholic education. And it's a great place for me. I feel comfortable there, loving it. Hoping someday to become principal somewhere, aspiring leader, trying to get there, but make it someday.
And Adam, what's your golf handicap?
Yeah, that's
showing up. That's my handicap.
He's also an Teach Better ambassador, which Andrea wanted to point out there. So one of the inaugural ambassadors. So All right, tell us this story. Earlier on, if you weren't watching, Dave and I were talking about Dave and his wife went out shooting or something because his wife wanted to go, wanted to shoot him. Didn't think it would be great, so they shot targets instead. That's pretty accurate. And Adam, you commented that, and I don't mean to be laughing, but you seem okay, so that's why I'm laughing.
Oh yeah, great.
That you got shot in the eye with a starter pistol.
Yes.
So tell us that story.
In the long run, actually ended up with a good ending. But I used to do a lot of theater, and I was in a group, and so we had all the props for the plays at the house. And one of the props was a starter pistol. We used to do like West Side Story and all this fun stuff. And so we were walking to the store, or like Blockbuster at the time, and there was two groups. I'm further back because I don't like guns. I'm a big fan of them. Another group, they were shooting off in the air, the starter pistol, just to make noise. So we're just walking, all of a sudden I just stopped, and a kid turned around right in front of me and pulled the trigger from about that far away from my face, and all the gunpowder and sparks ended up in my eye.
What? How old were you?
I was about 15.
Okay.
And so, do your fists start flying, or do you go to your eye? Like, what do you go to his eye, your eye? What happens?
I just want to cover my face up, ran all the way back to the house we were at, and they basically just start throwing water on my face to try to get all the stuff out.
Yeah.
So they call my parents up, and they go, "Yeah, Adam was in a little accident. He may need to go to the hospital." So my parents live about 15 miles away from this party. They pack up, they drive over to the house, pick me up, drive about another 20 miles to get to the hospital we were at, so we belong to. And at the same time, they get a phone call from the person at the ER saying, did a boy come in with an eye injury? They're like, yes. So he's my patient. I'll finish what you're doing and send him to our house, which is about 20 miles away, the other direction. So we go to their house, and the kid who shot me, his dad's an eye surgeon.
Okay.
So at 1 a.m, we get to the house. He starts pouring.
Oh, I feel like it's just getting good.
And so all the gunpowder's coming out. So after that, I had to go back every other day and get more surgeries on my eye. And then in the long run, I actually asked the girl to homecoming. So I was a freshman. And I used to go homecoming, and it was like a couple weeks before the accident happened. But the day after I get shot, she calls me up and goes, "Did you find a date to homecoming yet?" I said, "No." She goes, "Well, I'm not going to go to my homecoming like I thought it was, but can I take you up on your offer?" I was like, "Yeah." So it was a sympathy date, but I took it.
A little sympathy. Hey, you know, you can take it when you get it. But, so how long did the recovery take then?
Over a month. I had to keep going back and forth to get my surgeries. But, I went to St. Ignatius, which is like a top school in the area, and I had a tennis shoe pass. I had a get out pass, early pass. I catch the elevator because I had an elevator pass, and I'm the only person I ever known that has this pass, but I had no homework for a month.
And that was amazing. I'm going to go back to the first place. You had a tennis shoes pass?
I was going to say,
you skipped over
I know the school, so I know what he's talking about.
So, Catholic school with rules?
Strict uniforms.
Gotcha.
So they wanted me to have a balance because my dress shoes may have been a little bit too wobbly, I guess.
They were awesome.
So I had tennis shoe pass, got out pass early, elevator, and no homework for a month pass because they didn't want me to strain my eye.
Nice.
I'm like, hey, I'll take it.
A powerhouse football school.
So would you say it's worth it?
Yeah, was it worth? I mean, do you have
tennis shoes and no homework, man? Shoot me in the eye, right?
Actually, yes, because I have better vision in the eye I was shot in than my other eye.
Did he apologize to? Did he explain? Like, did he just like this would be cool? Because he didn't know. Like, did he understand or what?
We think he maybe just thought it was a noise and not actually gunpowder came out.
Yeah,
but I kind of made him suffer for it because I was trying to get some fluid build up in my eye. So they actually like inject a needle into my eye and pull fluid out. Oh, okay. And he made his son stand right next to him while he did it. So he's kind of like, "This is what you did to him," and like, "Oh yeah."
See, I was gonna say, for a minute there, I'm thinking, yeah, back in high school, I would have let somebody shoot me in the eye if I could get out wearing the shoes.
And then you
get the
found out
day
you
to
got needles
homecoming. And then you start talking needles going in your eye, and I'm done, man.
Yeah, but you
I'm
don't
done.
feel that when it's going in.
But you can see it.
No, not if you get shot. Then you can't see it.
That's true.
Where I actually swallowed a sewing needle when I was little.
Swallowed a soul.
But that's all. Yeah.
What in the world, dude?
Did that get you?
Brightest kid here.
Yeah, I'm picking up on that.
Yeah, the swallowing the sewing needle. I don't know how that story ends, but
surgery crossed my stomach.
Okay,
I'm not gonna show you,
dude.
Okay. Carly's fainting just from listening to the story. She tuned in at the wrong time.
Right. Yeah. Well, I've been here since the beginning, and I'm like, I got the weebies right now. Thank you, Robert, for helping me out.
Totally worth it, man. Appreciate you jumping on, Adam. Thanks for jumping on and sharing the story with us. Appreciate everything you do just in general as an ambassador, as an educator, as a fellow Ohioan.
Thank you guys too. Yeah.
So, yeah, but
I'm actually glad Michigan and Michigan State decided to actually show up to Big Ten football this year. So they're on the bridge of saying we're not going to do it. So, I mean, we'll miss our punching bags, but
little elbow nudge there, Dave. I don't know if you felt that or not.
I did. You know, it's funny.
I lost track of kind of days how many days it's been.
I feel like the Michigan schools are going to be like the MAC schools used to be. You know, the Big Ten teams always pick on the MAC schools. They pay them $1 million and say, show up just so we can beat you up a little bit. That's what Michigan and Michigan State are going to be to Penn State and Ohio State this year. Just come on down, let us get our wins so we can go play in the national championship game because that's the only reason we want this season anyway. But that's right. I'll watch it. It's all good.
You'll be our little sisters on the floor.
Andrea says, see you in a couple hours. Are you guys getting together tonight? The ambassadors?
The ambassador Zoom.
Oh, all right. I'm about to jump in there too.
Geez.
What's that?
Were you invited?
I guess I wasn't. So, Andrea, can I come? Can I get invited or what? Like, is that something that's possible?
And Andrea, can you send me that link again too? I got it on my calendar, but I don't have the link. So, can you send me the link, please?
Oh, you didn't get the link? Yeah, me neither, Dave. Wink. That'll be fun. Anyway, so good stuff. All right, Adam, we're gonna let you head out, brother. Don't get shot anymore. Appreciate you. Keep it up this year. Maybe I'll stop. Maybe I'll jump in if they let me in later, and I'll see you.
All right, talk to you later.
All right, brother. See ya. Good dude. It was fun. We've never had Adam on one, so that's good stuff.
That's awesome.
Yes, apparently there's check the Facebook group. It's in the Facebook group. Okay. So you gotta check it in there. So, all right. What else are we talking about here right now? We got all of our ambassadors talking about the ambassador Zoom. So we freaked everyone out a little bit with his story there. Who do you got on your who's on your podcast? Like the latest episode, or maybe who you got either? Let's do this.
Signed in. So yeah.
Who you just released, or you just recorded, or was just on video? Because you do you release a lot of times the YouTube portion first, and then that's like who do you got going on right now?
So today, the amazing one of my favorite people on planet Earth, Lindsay Titus, her episode just got released on the audio podcast. She's an absolute rock star, and this episode truly explained why I think she can walk on water, because she is amazing in all that she does. So that one just got released, but yeah, I do it kind of funky where I record. I use Zoom to record the original conversation. So I just pump those out on YouTube. 2 or 3 days later, every Saturday, something's getting released on YouTube just so that people can see it if they want to see it. Tonight, I have a recording. I think it's 9 or 10 o'clock tonight. I'm recording with a woman. Her name is Andrea White, and she is incredible. She actually just ran the virtual Boston Marathon.
Oh yeah.
She qualified for Boston. She was supposed to run it in April. She'd been working for the last 2 years to qualify, and then Boston switched it to virtual. And if you qualified for the Boston, those people that don't run marathons don't quite understand, but the Boston Marathon is legit. You don't just sign up and say, I'm going to register to run the Boston Marathon. You have to get these qualifying times. Like for me to qualify,
qualifying times are not easy.
Well, they're crazy. For me to actually, I ran Boston last year, but I did it because I went the charity route. Some people call it the easy way. I went and had to raise a few $1,000s to go. But in order for me to qualify to run Boston, I would have to take 45 minutes off of my all-time fastest time just to get the bare minimum.
You have to run it's like a 740 mile.
It's pretty stupid and ridiculous for 26.2 miles.
Yeah. You're talking like Adam Welcome level stuff.
Like legit. Yeah. Well, yeah. And even Adam Welcome hasn't qualified. He did the fundraiser about the year before too. So take that into consideration there. I mean, it's faster than Adam Welcome.
You have to qualify, but you have to qualify at the right time because there's only so many slots for qualifiers.
Absolutely.
So I actually think
better than your qualifying time.
I think Adam has hit the qualifying time speed, but like if there's one other person that also hit that 2 seconds faster, they get it over you.
Exactly.
Yes.
So the woman I'm interviewing tonight, she qualified for it after training. She qualified while pregnant. Right? I know it's just stupid. So Boston gave them the opportunity to either defer to next year or to run it virtually. And she elected to run it virtually. So she trained, was ready to go in April, and then March they shut it down. So she said, okay, I'll start a new training cycle, trained all summer long. She's a 4th grade teacher, trained all summer long. And then she just ran her virtual Boston last weekend. So I'm chatting with her tonight and I can't wait to hear her story. It's a good one.
Makes me feel great about the virtual 5K I'm getting ready to do. That's cool. That's fun stuff.
Yeah.
I have a fun episode. We're going to do a bonus episode of Teach Better Talk that it's going to be me interviewing someone without Ray. Because schedule-wise, we didn't line up with his schedule and Ray's school schedule. So she said, go ahead and do it on your own. And I'm like, all right, we'll just call it a bonus episode and do it. So I got Pat Flynn coming on.
Sweet.
Which I don't know if anybody knows Pat Flynn, but smartpassiveincome.com, ask Pat.
Yeah.
He's a massive blogger, podcaster, YouTube star, influential, best-selling author. And one of the guys that I've looked to for years now, as I look to, I think of him as a mentor. I've learned so much from him and stuff. So, reached out and we connected, and he said, yeah, he's always had this love for being involved in education. He's been hinting for a while now that he's got something that he's working on in specifically education. I don't know if I'm able to
when you say education, you're talking K-12 education?
Like him actually getting into the education space versus, I mean, he educates all the time.
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
Courses and all the stuff that he does, but like as an actual working with like educational institutions.
Okay.
So I don't know if I'm able to get that out of him or not, but it's going to be a lot of fun having him on. And I've changed the questions up a little bit, but I'm going to ask him some of the more typical ones. I'm going to put him through the 6 fast ones and stuff. And so it'll be a fun one. He's a good dude. So that's coming up. I get to do that next week.
That's awesome.
So that'll be a blast. We've had some good ones this week too. The podcast is awesome. I want to give a shout out to Chris because I think the best thing about our podcast right now is that I'm no longer editing them.
You get to just have the fun, man. Just sit down and talk and learn and say.
Yes. Chris Madsen came in and he has just taken a run, and he's doing the video portion of it, everything. So it is really awesome. So
that's awesome. Very good.
I see Rob Breyer's here. I saw him pop in. What's up, Rob? Good to see Rob. And Lindsay, good to see you too. We talked about you already, of course. Go figure. Do we ever not talk about Lindsay?
No, when amazing people are out in the world, you talk about them often, and she's incredible. She's one of the best.
Here's a good question for you. Since we're sort of in the space, dream guest on the podcast outside of Lindsay.
Dream guest?
If you have one person on your podcast, maybe you already have, I don't know, but if there was that one person, you're like, man, if I could just get this person on a podcast, like that'd be like.
So I feel you say I might have already had that person. And I feel like I've had a lot of those people where I said, this is the person I want to have. So I had Jessica Leahy. I don't know if you know who she is, but she wrote the book, The Gift of Failure. And she's somebody like Jessica Elba tweets about her and stuff. She's amazing. I'm going there. I've had Ray Hewitt on. She's absolutely incredible.
Yes,
I've had Gargas on. Speaking of, this is an interesting thing. Realize it was a year ago tomorrow that we recorded our podcast episode. It was like the first time we actually really chatted was a year ago tomorrow. Not that I have that with a heart on my calendar or anything, but I do.
So let me put it this way. Is there anyone you can think of that you would have on that you would sort of fangirl over?
Besides Tim McGraw and Kenny Chesney, you mean? Because that would do it. Yeah, that would do it.
Okay. Let me ask you. Let me change this. That you maybe have a prayer of getting on. that would make sense for your show.
Which
they could honestly. I think you have an amazing conversation about them about continually learning and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about like. So from a
song, I've had a lot of conversations with this guy. We've talked quite a bit, but the guy that like transformed me as an educator, probably more than anybody else, was Rick Wormley. And it's a matter of just me trying to sit down and have a conversation with him where we don't just geek out over standards-based grading and all that, like really getting to know his story and his trajectory and all of the things he's had to overcome to be the Rick Wormley that has literally changed the lives of thousands of educators. He would be an amazing person to have on that I haven't done yet. I have not yet.
Do it because I did, and he said yes.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm trying to work out a day. It's been a process and a long process.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm telling you, dude, he would totally say yes. He seems like he's a really cool dude.
One of the best people on the planet. Yeah, he's awesome.
Okay, so that's gonna get taken care of. So you're gonna make that happen.
Yeah. Colin Powell, getting the old General Colin Powell on would be absolutely incredible because he's had a story that has gone up and down and round and round, and his mindset changes often. I actually did send him an inquiry, and his publicist responded back with that they are investigating. So. Yeah,
but when you're talking about him, like he's like they're legit. Like there's an FBI investigation.
They want to make sure that I have the record right. Yeah. So
I just asked because like there's been my dog's saying hi. Certain people that have already been on our podcast and people that we talk about with Ray. Ray always jokes, "Okay, come on, Tasty, get down." Like that she like her tail is vicious. That she like fangirls out and like she gets like legit nervous. She doesn't do it as much anymore, but it happened early on. And she always like. Was always like, is there no one that you would do that with? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, maybe Gary Vaynerchuk.
Right.
I'm
yeah.
Like,
that's a
I
good
don't
one.
know. So when I got Pat to say, come back, and he said, yeah, let's do it. And I'm like, I told her, I'm like, so I don't think I would fangirl with Pat, but like, he's like close. Like he's like someone who I really look up to in a lot of ways. And so that was what got her to say yes. But yeah, I think Gary, I don't even know if I would though with Gary. Like I would just be so pumped to like have a conversation with him. I guess I don't.
Well, with Gary, you just have to say, Gary, what do you have? And you sit back.
I know. I would be like,
what to say, man.
I'd be like, so school
and go. Right.
Just get the heck out of the way. That would be a fun one. I'm gonna make that happen someday. We'll see what happens, but it's fun stuff. Ray, there was a whole bunch of them. So I don't know.
Another one. I'm sorry, Mark Cuban. There's no way. That would be amazing. Mark Cuban is. Yeah.
So on Shark Tank, is Mark Cuban your guy?
Oh heck yeah! And Robert Herjavec. I like Robert Herjavec as well.
Okay, I like both of them. I definitely, and I like Cuban, but I like Damon John. He's good. I really enjoy.
I like him. He's not on that much anymore though. He's out.
He's not as much.
Living the dream. So yeah.
He's not on there as much anymore. So, but
you strike me more as Mr. Wonderful guy. You're not.
No, I would not. I would not vibe with him.
Yeah,
I think I can have a good conversation with him because I'd ask him the right questions. But
he'd be on the phone just saying, "Where's my check? Where's my check?" Yeah,
Adam, if you ever spent time with me outside of when I'm on live, you would know the answer to that question. That Gary would have a hard time keeping up. You know who this is a off-topic one, but I actually think would bring a really, really cool conversation to either podcast is Ashton Kutcher.
Ooh.
I don't know if you ever like watched
yeah.
He's so brilliant, like in the way he thinks through things and the work he's doing.
I think the two of you guys would have a phenomenal conversation just about entrepreneurship and
makerness.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
No, I think he's a severely underrated like person.
Yeah.
I don't know if he wants to act. I think he's a good actor, but like
I think the whole Demi Moore thing kind of like trashed his reputation.
Well, and he started off as a model and Kelso. So like he has a he's looked at and he did the Dude Where's My Car and stuff. So he had like he was very much like he came into the scene that way, and it's hard to get other things, but the work he's done outside of acting, I think would be really cool to chat with him about. So
that's a good one. That's a good one.
That'd be a good one. Now I'm thinking.
Right. I think what we need to do is we need to come up with our wish list and say which of these, and then we just let's like a draft. Who are you calling? Who am I calling?
We need to go after. We need to make it happen. We're gonna work this out.
Yeah.
Che
I'm
wants
sure he's watching. Ashton Kutcher, come on.
Che, he's probably watching. Yeah. Che wants Jeter.
He's a Michigan guy, so I got that. How How about Aaron Judge? Would that be okay? If we go with Judge or even A-Rod? Because A-Rod's got the whole business acumen going on right now too. And Jeter's just too quiet, and he's screwing up an entire baseball team down in Florida right now. So I don't know, man.
I don't know if there's any athletes that I'd really be that pumped.
LeBron?
I'd love to talk with LeBron. I think it'd be cool to get his, just because I'm here in Akron and stuff, and
yeah,
and obviously he's got the school, but he's not. I mean, he's involved, but he's not super involved with the school.
Yeah.
But he wants Chase says both, so he'll have both.
Okay.
So that's good. Che, I don't know why you would need to worry about anyone. You have a freaking rock star idol of all people that it's your co-host
every day, man.
Geez, we all fangirl out every time we get to talk to your co-host. So you're set up. Charles Barkley, get out of here, Rob. Take your Charles Barkley nonsense.
I got so many comments to that, but I'll just leave him alone.
Actually, he would be entertaining.
You would have to sit there with the drop button though, and it wouldn't work. But it wouldn't work.
Jim Carrey would be entertaining.
He would have a story though too.
I don't know if you've watched some, he's done a lot of like commencement addresses.
Yeah,
he does the funny because they want that, but like very insightful dude. I think he's going a little crazy.
He's definitely, yeah,
but still in-depth dude. One day I hope to convince Robert Breyer to come on our show.
You're stretching yourself, man.
Yeah, I know.
You could get Jim Carrey. You might even be able to get General Colin Powell. Rob Breyer.
Right, he's busy.
Lord have mercy,
he's
man.
principal and teaching. Like he doesn't have time.
You wouldn't be able to keep up. That's the issue. That guy's brilliant.
He'd be really tough. It'd be really, really tough. So, drink some more. With that being said, anything else we need to touch on before we go, as people have been hanging with us for almost 50 minutes for some weird reason?
No, I hope the people that are hanging out at school right now know that they have permission to leave. So go home.
Dax Shepard. Sorry, I'm completely ignoring you because
I'm sitting here sending people home, and you're thinking about your next podcast.
Rob brought up Dax Shepard's the one that I would be, be really interested in one. Is he still doing his armchair?
Yeah. Yep. So he just had Jessica Leahy on the other day too.
Expert. Yeah. Oh,
armchair
really?
Expert. Yeah. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
It's a good one. It's good stuff.
So anything else going on? Was the question, I guess.
I don't think so. What else? We have.
You talk about the mindset meetup. What's going on with that?
The mindset meetup's coming up. Because that's on the 30th.
The first one, the first of 6, right?
Yeah. So 6 weeks is how it's going to be. So we have. Let's see. Starts on the 30th.
Yeah.
So Wednesday, September 30th, the first of 6 Wednesdays in a row, 7:00 Eastern time, 2 hours with 2 different speakers. And we got that going on. So that's a lot of fun. We did this last night. I'm just going to use the same code. So if you want to get that, you can go to teachbetter.com/mindset meetups. Use Gupta 2020, half price. Boom.
Half price.
Half price.
50%.
Cut in half, 50%. Yes. So that's going on. That's super excited. The podcast network, we got another 4 podcasts coming out very, very soon, coming to the network.
Crazy, man.
Which is awesome. Which, by the way, Rob's podcast is on there. Your podcast is on there. So that's fun. It's been really fun watching that grow. Shout out to Joshua Stamper for just taking the reins of that thing. He's got a lot of plans too, which will be really fun. And we're going to be launching very soon our connected coaching. It's not serious connected coaching programs. So there's gonna be 3 levels of coaching that people can opt into with the team. And that's just a response to people asking for sort of more in-depth support. So there's gonna be 3 levels of getting deeper and deeper if you want to. So,
and is that like a one-on-one type of coaching thing?
So there's 3 levels. So the level tier 1 is similar to a mastermind. It's an advisor group. So it's a group that'll meet once a month, and it's a group, but we're going to limit it to, I think, 20. Mm-hmm. And then tier 2 is what we're calling educator cohort. So it's similar, but it's with a very specific focused topic. So for example, it could be a 6-week set of, or a 6-month program with Chad Ostrowski. Focus on the grid method, and you'll be with a group of teachers that are all working on that together with very specific things. Or Hans Apple when it's SEL, right? So that's going to be tier 2, and then that tier 3 is the one-on-one personalized, like legit coaching. And so that's the one-on-one where we're going to actually break down specific to your needs, your goals, and be that coach, that accountability, that partner in that. So that's exciting. So that's coming soon. So those are fun things.
That's awesome.
Other than that, we have Master Chat tomorrow night. So tomorrow night, 8:00 Eastern time. I think I might get to go live afterwards. Let me look real quick, Dave. I know you're really interested in who goes live.
I am.
It is me.
Look at you.
No way, Brianna.
And it's Brianna. Yeah, you get to hang out with Brianna
tomorrow night, and then me.
Just for the record, if you need to pass that torch on to me, I would be happy to substitute for you if it means hanging out with Brianna.
Like you can, because someone earlier said this must be the new the Dave Schmittou channel.
Sorry, people.
It's fine. Like when he says that, is this the Dave Schmittou channel? This is like our social media. So apparently, our social media is now the Dave Schmittou channel.
Sorry.
So, hashtag Team Schmittou. Yeah, so that's good. So we'll see tomorrow night, Eastern time, 8:00 Eastern time, Master Chat. Catch me and Brianna afterwards talking about that, hanging out. Maybe Dave will come. I don't know. We'll see if I can convince him. We will be back again with this nonsense next week, same time, 5:00. I think 5:00 seems to be working, being the right way to go. And look for more Dave all over our channel. So Mastermind, teachbetter.com/mastermind. If you're an admin, Dave's leading that 2 times on Tuesdays, one at 9 a.m. Eastern time and one at 7 p.m. Eastern time. You can come to either or both and connect with some other admin or educator leaders doing some really cool things. So until then, I guess we'll see you tomorrow night. Dave, appreciate you, brother, and see y'all.